Hey everyone, I thought I would attempt to do a labor and delivery video. My kids have been good outside for 2 hours while I clean the house. Chances are really good they're going to come in and bug me as soon as I start this. I'm just trying to get Savea to wake up because she needs to eat, so I thought this would be a good time. She's in her Halloween costume. She's going to be a witch. I just was taking pictures of her. I think I'll do a video of her pictures that I took of her for Halloween. You waking up, sis? Anyway, so on October 13th, we headed to the hospital at 6:30 in the morning. We got there about 7, and we got in our room. We got changed. I got changed, and you ready to eat? I got changed and I got the IV hooked up, got Pitocin started, and then I labored for probably around 3 hours, just on a low, you okay? On a low dose. It was at a 2 for my Pitocin. I'm going to get her binky. I don't know what that level measures in, but I was at a 2. And then she put it up to a 4. And then she put it up to a 6 because this nurse, for some reason, I was actually the same nurse and the same room that I had Davis in, which is kind of funny. We walked in and we're like, hey, this is the same room. And then my nurse walked in, I'm like, and you're the same nurse. But the same things bothered me about her this time as they did last time. She was trying to hurry things along really fast. I was only in labor altogether from the time I went in until the time she was born. Let's see, 7:30, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. I was in there for 8 hours from the time I got there till the time she was born. And the whole time she was like, can we put Pitocin up higher? We need to get, or I want to get that baby out of there, and it's just like, I'm not in any hurry. I mean, of course I want to see her, but I'm not in any hurry. Sorry, I keep looking down. I just know that she's going to start fussing because she's hungry. But I want her to wake up good because she falls asleep as soon as she starts eating every time. Anyway, and so, yeah, so that was bothering me about her. Every single time she just, can you handle the Pitocin higher? Should we put it higher? I was just like, whatever. So, anyways, that just was bugging me. Then the doctor came in about 9:30, quarter to 10, and broke my water. And then she upped the Pitocin to, it was like a 6 or an 8. And I was tolerating the contractions just fine. And I had those contractions until, let's see, about 12:30, I bet. So about 3 hours. I was handling the contractions really well. Every 3 minutes, they were getting stronger and stronger as the Pitocin got stronger. But I was handling them okay. I just listened to my music, and I was just kind of hanging out. She'd come check on me, do you need an epidural? I was like, no, I'm fine. I'm just going to keep going. And she had students with her, and they kept asking, well, do you want an epidural? Or you look like you're doing really good. And anyway, so 12:30, 1 o'clock comes around, and it was starting to get a lot more painful. I was standing up. I was trying to move around and get more comfortable. And so the labor started moving into my back really bad. It was so painful. I can't even explain it. I was honestly blacking out of pain because of the pain. I was shaking uncontrollably because the pain was getting so intense. So I finally decided it was time to get an epidural because there's just no possible way that I'm going to be able to stand this any longer. Every time the contraction would come, I'd be like, no, I can't do it, I can't do it. And then I'd get through it, and then I'd get, a couple minute break or less. They were starting to get pretty close together, so a little bit of a break, and it was like, okay, I can do it, I can do another one, and I'd feel it on my back coming, and then it would move to the front, and oh, it was so painful. And so I was like, I better have the nurse come in and check me and see if I've made any progress. If I haven't made any progress, I'm getting an epidural because there's just no way. I don't know how much longer I can tolerate this. And I was only at a 5, and I dilated with Davis to a 9 before I got my epidural. So my body just wasn't progressing. I think it was because the pain was so intense I couldn't relax long enough to let my body dilate on its own. That may or may not be the case, but that's what it seemed like. So right around 2 o'clock they came in and gave me an epidural, and unfortunately the epidural didn't work. It took almost a whole hour for it to kick in. The bad part was my feet and legs were totally numb. Couldn't move them. So I couldn't get in a comfortable position to labor at all, but I could feel everything. So I was laying stuck flat on my back because her heart rate started dropping. So I had to labor on my back with the back labor, and I could feel everything for 45 minutes, almost to an hour. They started moving my bed back, like tipping it back so that the epidural would move up my body. And it did slowly. So about the time that I was ready to push, like, and as it started kind of taking the edge off, my body started dilating really fast. So by the time the epidural worked, it was about 3 o'clock. She was born at 3:33, so that's how fast it went after I got the epidural. So I went, and by the time the epidural was working, I was at a 7 to 8, and then within that half hour, I was fully dilated and ready to push. It took the doctor a few minutes to get over, and I was starting to, like, I could feel the pressure to push, and I've never felt that before, so the epidural was definitely not as strong as my other ones, or it wasn't working as strong. And then, so as soon as my doctor got there, I pushed twice, and she was completely out. They were trying to get a mirror set up so that I could watch, and the nurse was stupid. She could not get the mirror to aim right, so I could see. I was like, no, to the left, and she'd go opposite every time. And so, she was out so fast, I didn't even hardly get to see it at all, which was a bummer, because I love that. I just think it's so cool. I can kind of separate myself from that being my body, and it's just an amazing thing to watch, I think. But also when she came out, I could totally feel her come out of my stomach, which I've never felt before either. I could feel like her legs leave my body. Like, it was the weirdest feeling, leave like my stomach area. So, the epidural was definitely not very strong, but I couldn't, it wasn't painful at all. And also with Savea, as well as Davis and Taylor, I have never torn, and I've never had a episiotomy. I've never had to get stitches. I've been so lucky with that. So yeah, that was the case again this time, that I didn't have to get any stitches or anything. So makes recovery a lot better. I am 2 weeks out now, and I feel amazing. I just got done cleaning and vacuuming, and I've been taking Taylor to school, and yeah, it's been pretty good, really good actually, recovery. But anyways, yeah, then she came out. I'll go back to the story. Then she came out, and the doctor handed her right to me, and they actually let me hold her for a really long time before they went and warmed her up, which was an amazing experience. Like, the whole experience was just amazing. So I put her up on my chest, and I wrapped her in a towel, and I was able to snuggle with her and look at her, and it was really amazing. And it was just me and my husband. My kids weren't in the room. They were with my mother-in-law. So we were able to kind of bond for a minute, and yeah, it was really cool. It was a really cool experience. And then they took her and warmed her up and weighed her. She was 6 pounds, 13 ounces. Or maybe it was, nope, 6'14", sorry. 6 pounds, 14 ounces. And she was 20 inches long and tons of dark hair. Oh, she's just so pretty. I love her. So, and then after that, they were able to give her a bath. I had asked earlier before she was born if they would be able to bathe her in the room with me so that I could see her first bath. I've never been able to do that with the kids. They always take her into the nursery, and they bathe her in there, and my husband doesn't really get the chance to do it. He says he pretty much just sits and videotapes. They don't really let him be very involved. But this time they gave her bath under her warmer. My husband did the whole thing. I was able to watch the whole thing. We had my boys in the room at the time, so we were able to have them watch the whole thing. And Taylor was videotaping it, and it was so cute. He kept saying, Mom, I'm getting her in the videotape.
Jesus naked!
Better go take care of that. Just a second.